Well, chaos arrived a month early in college basketball. 16 of the top 25 teams lost games last week. Now we get to make sense of it all. Clayton, Collier here, going over my AP Top 25 ballot for Week 14. Let's start with Auburn, falling to number 2 after the loss to Arkansas here as Gonzaga moves up to number 1. After they beat St. Mary's, the Zags have won 14 straight games. Number 3, Kentucky, and number 4, Arizona. They move up a spot after Purdue dropped. We'll get to those in just a minute. Kansas lost to number 20, Texas. Still number 1 in the Big 12. They also beat up on Baylor, my number 6 team in this one. They beat Texas. They are at Texas Tech on Wednesday as well. Number 7, Providence moving up in this one as well. As they averted disaster in overtime against DePaul. They play Villanova on Tuesday. Number 8, Purdue, a 24-point loss to Michigan. They ended up topping Illinois for the second time this year, though, so I leave them at number 8. Number 9, Texas Tech. They lost this week. They were 11 last week for me, but they move up after all the massive losses that occurred this week as well. They also beat TCU. All 6 of Texas Tech's losses are of the quad 1 variety. Number 10, Illinois lost to Purdue, beat Northwestern, so I have them coming in at number 10. At number 11, Duke, they lost to Virginia, their 3rd loss outside of quad 1 varieties, so they fall to number 11 in my poll. They were number 8 last week, the week before. Villanova with the win over St. John's and Seton Hall, so they move up to number 12 in my poll in this one. Wisconsin at number 13. They had a roller coaster of a week. They beat Michigan State, then fell to Rutgers. Seems like most of the Big Ten teams at this point have fallen to Rutgers as well. But Wisconsin stays pat for me at number 13 overall. Michigan State drops down right behind them at 14 in my poll. Number 15, Houston, an 0-2 week for them. Hit extra hard because they only have one quad 1 win. So the losses to SMU and to Memphis dropped them to number 15 in my poll. Number 16, UCLA, they lost to USC. That's their 3rd loss in their last 4 games, so I dropped them there. Murray State on the rise again, number 21 overall in the poll. Number 17 in my poll because they have won 14 straight games. They're now 24-2. Number 18, Texas, they beat Kansas. They lost to Baylor, win 1, top 10, lose another. They climb up to number 18 in my poll, number 20 overall in the AP. Right behind them, the team they beat just a couple weeks ago, Tennessee, 2-0 this week after wins over Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. Ohio State, number 20, they lost to Rutgers as well, and they just climb down or fall down all the way down to 20 overall. 21 in my poll, Wyoming, 22 overall in the AP Top 25. 2 more wins for them. They're now 21-3 on the season as the Cowboys just keep rolling. Number 22, USC, the win over UCLA bumps them back up into my poll at number 22 overall. Hey, Marquette fell big time. They were not ranked overall in the poll this week. Among some of the vote getters, it was a crowded field there of who was going to get into the top 25. I had Marquette at number 15 last week, and one of those losses was against a ranked opponent, so I dropped them still 8 spots down to 23 overall. Hey, and Arkansas, an up and down week, about as up and down as you could get there. Arkansas with the first team to beat Auburn in regulation this season. That was a massive win, and then they followed up Saturday with the loss to Alabama. But still, as I mentioned, one of only 2 teams to beat Auburn this year. That gets you to number 24 in my poll. And rounding it out at number 25, Colorado State. They beat Boise State. They get back into my top 25. Among the teams that dropped out, St. Mary's 0-2 this week. San Francisco, the loss to Portland, and UConn after the loss to Xavier as well. But both of those teams, UConn and Xavier, right around there trying to get back into my top 25. Have a comment. Let me know on Twitter at Clayton J. Collier. I'll be back next week with my Ballot Explainer.